let the yap begin. Crew, One Piece familia, how are we doing today? The Yap Chronicles start here. I asked you guys, who do you think the most power-cliffed character in One Piece is on the community wall? I gave you 4 options: Smoker, Katakuri, Boa, Doflamingo, and you guys gave me your opinion. Now, I told you in a live stream before to pay very close attention to whatever I post on the wall now, because I am going to make that into discussion videos like this. And those are just the 4 best options that I feel like have been power-cliffed the most right now in One Piece, you know? Oda has given us so many characters in One Piece, but these are the 4 that stick out to me that I still feel hold a lot of weight in One Piece, that can still come back and leave their mark, whether it's in not just power scaling, but just in their character in general. So if you're new here, man, hit that sub button, join the crew. If you're not new here and you're a regular, I know y'all saying it's about time I finally got some long forms out. I'm working on it, but I feel like this may make things a little bit easier to get some long forms out to you. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up, leave your opinion in the comments below, and I'm gonna switch the screen over. So on here, obviously, Smoker wins by a landslide. I'm not really surprised. I just wanted to see again what you guys thought about this. For me, I mean, I'll just start off with Doflamingo. One of the reasons I put Doflamingo on here is because, I mean, right now, he's locked up. He is one of the best written characters in One Piece. There's no question there is more to his story, you know? What is the secret that he claims that he knows? At the end of the day, we know that he is either going to break out or, nah, fuck it. Someone's gonna break him out if he doesn't break out himself. Now with Boa, I've been saying for a while that my headcanon right now with where we are in the manga, Boa is training with Rayleigh with her Haki. Her Haki just isn't it. Like, I get it. She rode the wave for a while with being one of the only, you know, women characters in One Piece that has Conqueror's Haki. One of the only characters overall that has all 3 types of Haki, but it stopped right there, you know? It got to the point whenever Blackbeard had her on lock, she couldn't do anything with her Haki, and that's what I always use in an argument with that. I'm like, if she was good with her Haki, when Blackbeard had her, how he had her, she would at least try something with her Haki, but she was just non-existent. You know, and that's just an example. I feel like the biggest Haki feat we've seen from Boa, now correct me if I'm wrong, this is what these videos are for, was Boa at Marineford with Smoker. But I feel like there was more than that. I feel like there's more than that. And I get Amazon Lily, they are known to specialize in their Haki, but I do feel like Rayleigh pulling up when he did wasn't just a coincidence. And obviously there was a lot of lore there and connections, but I do feel like, again, Boa is training with Rayleigh, and the next time we see Boa, she might be using Conqueror's coding. I don't know. I mean, that's what I feel like is missing. I feel like she should be already knowing Conqueror's coding, armament, advanced, future sight. Come on now. And I feel like in the story, Boa should be a behemoth. Now, next up is Katakuri. Now, I think it's pretty obvious why I have Katakuri on here, because he already has, arguably for me, still one of the top 5 Luffy fights. Now, if you agree or disagree, make sure you put your input in on that one also. I put that on the community wall too, and I plan on making that a discussion video. But for this right here, that's one of the biggest reasons. We know we're going to see him again, pulling up for Pudding. There's not going to be any other character pulling up for Pudding. I mean, there might be some other characters, but Katakuri will be with them. I feel like that will be his leveling up moment. Him taking the mantle of accepting maybe the responsibility of the family, because I mean, we already know how he feels about his siblings. We went from him being one of them, you know, when him and Luffy were going at it, to now we're just like, man, Katakuri could lose the king. Katakuri shouldn't be losing the king, man. You know, that's how I feel. But right now, with how things look, Katakuri may be losing the king. And I feel like him having Conqueror's coding on top of that future sight, all these characters that we're talking about may not even get the power-ups that we're thinking. Like, what if Doflamingo still ends up just locked up in chains, bro? Just laughing away. That'd be crazy, but I highly doubt it. I highly doubt Oda would fumble the bag like that. That would hurt the image. That would hurt the image. I feel like we will see more from Katakuri, because I know some people do think, you know, Katakuri would be a straw hat. Me, I don't personally think that. I do feel like at the end of the day, we will see Katakuri helping Luffy out in the final war. That's what I do believe. And you can say the same about the other characters we're talking about, except Doflamingo's ass. I don't think Dofi would do that. I don't think we'd catch Dofi helping Luffy out in any form of fashion. Now, Smoker though, it sucks to say this about Smoker, chat, but like, he's like a huge disappointment right now, but not his character. It's just, I think we've gotten our hopes up for Smoker from the very beginning, and we don't talk about that a lot. Like, I was thinking about it, I'm like, damn, from the moment, not from Smoker's actual introduction, but from the moment that he had that scene with Dragon, maybe it's just me, but that set like a bar in my head. I'm like, yo, this dude Smoker is gonna be around for a long time. And now he's been gone for a long time. You know, we've seen Tashigi more than we've seen Smoker. If am I mistaken? Let me know. Again, let me know. I'm over here hitting stuff. I just hit Chopper. Oh, I just hit Chopper's ear, his horn, his antler. Chopper's okay. I won't show you Chopper right now, but just believe me when I say Chopper's okay. Just like I was bringing up Boa at Marineford earlier, that right there might be the peak of Smoker and his Haki. Like, I get it. We've seen Smoker with like Punk Hazard, but Punk Hazard, man, Smoker was over there getting tossed around, let's be honest. And again, if his Haki was anywhere it was supposed to be, he might have been able to, maybe you would think you would see a little bit more from him, and nothing really came from it. Whether it was Dofi, whether it was Law, it was just always someone messing with Smoker. If that's not the embodiment of Powercliffed right now, I don't know what is, because if I'm being real, I'm hanging on by a thread, chat. I'm hanging on by a thread. I have him and Fujitora as one of the possible, you know, leaders of whatever the Marines in One Piece looks like at the end. I can see Fujitora and even Smoker, but Smoker has a long way to go, and maybe Kobe too. But Kobe has a long way to go too. But he's not at least Powercliffed as much as Smoker, chat. Kobe's not Powercliffed as bad as Smoker. Isn't that crazy? Because I do look at Kobe as Powercliffed. I know some people may not, but people call Kobe Luffy's rival. But I don't think Kobe is anywhere near Luffy yet to even be looked at as his rival in that sense, you know? What we're about to do now is the fun part. We're about to dive into the comment section and see what you guys have said. Celino68 says Smoker lost all his sauce the moment Haki became a regular thing. That's what I'm saying. Smoker was such a badass from his introduction on until, I want to say, like, bro, after Marineford, I was like, all right, after he got his ass kicked and handed to him by Boa because he could not do shit to her, I was like, maybe then he's gonna have his arc. He's gonna come back leveled up. No, man. Him and his little weapon that negates devil fruits. I agree with that one. I'm gonna like him as I go. I'm gonna just scroll. I'm gonna just randomly scroll and stop at one. Here we go. Boa and Powercliffed in one sentence. Yes, lock in Fortnite and PUBG. Lock in. Katakuri literally went face to face with Luffy, the main character, and almost won. Yes, but that was when Snake Man was like the pinnacle. We're at Gear 5, past Wano. I'm going to assume maybe Ryan Gilman may not be caught up. I don't know. Punk Hazard was Smoker's funeral, getting walked by Law, then Virgo, then Dofi. Right, what I see is on point, man. That was just a rough time for Smoker, man. Like I said, every time Smoker popped back up for me, I was like, is this gonna be his time? Smoker, is this your time? And bro ends up on his ass, man. Hello, just a chill guy. Smoker, bro, I thought bro was the strongest when he was introduced, and he was until Haki. Bro, man, Haki really... Chat, are we saying that Haki sent our boy Smoker to the corner, dog? That is wild but true. We still have to know about how strong Boa really is, and both Katakuri and Dofi got Powercliffed, but they are not too far behind. Whereas freaking Smoker got smoked so hard he became completely irrelevant after these characters got armament Haki. With Boa, it's very interesting, and Oda really keeps a lot of characters lingering like that, you know? It's been said for a while that she has all three types of Haki. She has conquerors, like, you know, it was hyped up for a minute before we even saw it, to the point I'm like, all right, let me see it finally. Let me see it, Boa. And that's why I just feel like it just sounds so fitting that the next time we see Boa, we're gonna get like a flashback of her training with Rayleigh after everything went down, yada, 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 that type shit. But yes, I do agree. I do agree with all of that. Poor Smoker, man. Boa can probably take on Crocodile and keep up with Jinbei. Boa is not weak. I agree. I think I feel like Boa is supposed to handle Croc. There's a possibility in a world Boa should be stronger than Jinbei, end of story, I feel like. But that's just Jinbei and Croc. Boa is a queen of her land. You know what I mean? She need to be up there. You know, you have Momonosuke. Like, Momonosuke is another example. I'm not trying to say Momonosuke is Powercliffed either with this. Momonosuke, I expect the next time I see him to be progressed in some form fashion, like whether it's sword skill, whether it's Haki, whether it's more of an understanding of how to use his devil fruit, you know, I expect, you know, that from Momonosuke. That, like, so I'm hoping, I guess we can't say the same with Katakuri. They're all Powercliffed in different ways. It just sucks that the Powercliff catalog for Smoker, that just sounds horrible, man, for Smoker. But the catalog for Smoker just checks all the boxes, man. He is fucked. Dill 3066. Boa needs to prove she is a Conqueror's Haki user. See, we are on the same page here. We haven't seen her use it, man. We just haven't seen her use it. We've seen Kid use his Conqueror's Haki more than Boa. It shouldn't be like that. When Blackbeard pulled up to her land, man, she should have been just spamming that shit. You know what I'm saying? But she isn't yet. And I feel like that could be part of her re-entrance. Just picture that, chat. What if you see Boa pull up next time? I'm not saying she gonna pull up right now and save them in the manga, but what if, you know? Next thing you know, you just see a wave of Haki and you're like, oh my god, is it Shanks? Oh shit. And it's Boa, bro. And save her boo, bro. What? It's possible. And I mean, I'm saying the same with Dofi too. I feel like, I mean, it's gonna be kind of crazy if he does pull back up and all of a sudden know how to use Conqueror's coding, Ryu and everything, because you're gonna be like, did bro go through a training arc in the depths of hell and impel down? Like, what the hell happened? I don't see a lot of people bringing up Dofi in the comments. Everyone's like, man, Dofi's perfect how he is. That's what y'all are saying, basically. Let's see what New Tech Nerd has to say. Meh. People say Smoker, but I think as a Logia, he still has access to many powerful and useful abilities. Okay, cook. Dofi can't do anything to anyone anymore. His strings are going to get cut by Zoro, turned into jump ropes by Luffy, eaten by... Turn to jump ropes by Luffy is facts, for real, for real. Eaten by plants, cut by lasers, smashed with monster force, passed by souls, soaked in seawater, and used as a conductor for electricity. God damn. I'm gonna give that a like, though. Giving some love to Smoker. I like that. I like that. Maz says easily Doflamingo, but he is overrated, so fans won't vote him. Chat. Isn't that crazy? Just a few moments ago, I was just saying no one's really saying anything about Dofi. That's crazy that he says that right there. I might have to give that a like. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to talk about that poll when I dropped it a few weeks ago because I was really curious on just seeing what you guys thought. Because like I said, I'm just going to start randomly dropping random One Piece themed, anime themed polls on the community wall. So keep an eye out for that and I will just make some content about it because I do like talking to you guys about this stuff and I feel like this formula can really help me get some long forms out to you guys in a quicker fashion, you know? Let me know, guys, in the comments below, who do you think the most power clipped character is in One Piece? Who do you think should have been in that 4-character poll? Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, hit that sub button if you haven't yet, and just look forward to the next video and maybe live stream very soon. So yeah, guys, much love. Peace. Y'all the goats.